How the hell are you? How you doing? White people, let me tell you what. I had this job one time, and I was making pizzas. Both my boss and my manager were missing body parts. I don't know what the hell kind of establishment they were running prior to this pizza place, but the one boss was missing his thumb, and the other guy was missing his eyeball. So I was like, what are you guys, how are you losing all these body parts? Turns out the guy with the no eye told me his life story, which I had to laugh about because he's actually the reason I got fired. Because of course, who wouldn't laugh at that? I won't name his name. You know who you are. You know exactly who you are. So he got his eye shot out with an arrow, like some old school cowboys and Indian stuff. Real crazy. And I don't exactly know what happened to my other boss with the whole finger thing. He was missing a whole thumb. Not half, not just a tip. The whole deal. He wasn't born like that, I know that for a fact. But I remember when I got the job, I went to go shake his hand, and I grabbed a part of his wrist. I grabbed his whole wrist, just palm to wrist. That's all she wrote. And I was like, how the hell are you doing? It was so weird. It's so weird when people don't tell you about their missing body parts, or they just pretend that it never happened. Like, no, dude. You know you're missing a finger. Don't play me like that. I've had a lot of jobs where there's people with missing fingers. Probably because, just that's like the easiest thing to chop off. How close have you been to chopping off your finger? I always see people at the deli slicer thing. That's dangerous as hell. You just stick your hand in that bad boy. Gone. No more fingers. You'd be nubbing it for the rest of your life. How would you do things if you had a nub? Do you think you would adapt like some of these extremely crazy people? There's a guy in the NFL with no hands. That was or he's got one hand. He has one hand, sorry. As a receiver, you're like, oh, good hands. This guy, you think he takes offense to it? They're like, in middle school, they're like, good hand. Oh,
Watch your profanity.
Good hands, buddy. He's like, yeah, thanks. Thanks, I don't have a hand. He probably got that all the time. All the time. Growing up, they're like, dude, you're never gonna do that. They'll be like, hey, you want to give me a hand, dude? Oh, shit. People always gotta watch what they say, because they're always being accidentally offensive. But anyways, he made it in the NFL. That's pretty neat. He's just running around. But I'm not gonna make fun of him. He's way more athletic and amazing than I will ever be. You can't hate on people that are better than you, especially when they don't have any arms or hands or anything. God bless you. You crazy human being. You have no, either you were born with no hands or you lost your hands or a limb and you're still out there. Running on the track with the little bendy spring feet. Get the out of here, really? Okay, seems kind of like a trick to me. All right, those things got a little bit of pop in them. And don't comment on this and throw a bunch of scientific bullshit on here, because I don't want to hear it. They're like, oh, they're actually not like that. And it's like, yeah, okay. When's the last time you lost your feet? Okay, tell me how you feel next time you're running around with your little springs. Okay, when you lose your feet, because I don't want to hear it if you got feet. I really don't. I always thought that was really cool. I always thought it was super neat when people just lost body parts. And not a big deal. I'm just gonna recover, do what I need to do. Blows my mind. But then again, you never really know until it happens. You never know how strong you are until you need to be. Which is applies to a lot of things in life. But specifically losing limbs. I feel like that's the big one where you're like, yeah, you know, you just gotta overcome and adapt. It's like, yeah, holy shit. You really do. You went from tying your shoes and eating soup with a spoon to sucking it down with a straw and using a grabber. You never do know. You never know. You can lose anything in an accident. I know a guy who recently just got in a car accident, had to have back surgery, went back home to get back surgery, and he got fucking ran over by another car and broke both of his legs. So, not only does he need back surgery, but now he needs 2 new fucking legs. It's insane. Like, just the amount of luck people have. And I have terrible luck, but I've never been hit by 2 cars. I've crashed 2. One wasn't my fault. One was. I feel like driving would be weird with no hand. Can you drive with one hand? Will they give you a license? Do you get your license taken away? This is a question that I need to know. I mean, okay. So at work, you know, you're like, oh, applying for a job. And they're like, we need somebody hands-on. And you're like, what is that, a f***ing pun? I feel like you can't really do much. You can't do too much without a hand. And you really can't do anything without legs. You know, injuries are bad, and I'm really not knocking anybody. I think if I lost my hands, I'd want like a bionicle hand. I would definitely want something crazy, like a little Terminator hand. Yeah! I think that'd be super neat. Really neat. What if you had no limbs? Oh my gosh. You've seen those videos, people. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The people just rolling around, no limit. There's no limit on what they can do. If you got any cool, crazy stories about losing limbs, I really want to hear them. I really enjoy limb stories. So bring them on in, guys. If you like this video about limbs, like, share, subscribe, and share your limb stories in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about limbs, because it's very important to me, obviously. I didn't know it was this important to me until now, but peace out, people!